Good evening, and welcome to this week's London by Gaslight, a late Victorian age vampire the Masquerade Chronicles set in 1892. Awakening for the night in the city of London this week is Alistair from the Clan of the Moon, portrayed by Tina. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor slumber. Excellent. Eveline, the daughter of Cacophony, portrayed by Miss Hutz. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Aldrich of the Clan of Shapers, portrayed by Bully from Tablegoth, who this week discovered he hasn't lost his touch at storytelling. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Wonderful. Thurston of the Clan of the Hidden, portrayed by Nitro Typat. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Excellent. Inspector Grey from the Clan of the Hunt, portrayed by Noscavian. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. I'm tempted to give you an extra hunger just for interrupting me. And last but not least, our special guest again this week, Astrid, playing Juliet, the Clan of the Moon. Please do a rouse check to waken from your torpor state. Wonderful. We begin this week in Mitre Square. The coterie have been summoned to meet with Juliet Parr after they received a telegram from her, giving them the time and location to where to meet. The coterie have gathered together at the tarmac-laden square, surrounded by large, square and run-down houses. The sounds of despair fill the small area more than the thin layer of mist that dances around the coterie's feet. Alistair is eagerly pointing to a small portion of the square and explaining to Thurston that was where the body of Catherine Eddowes was found, mutilated, and says they could follow in the Ripper's footsteps, heading northeast and onto Goulston Street, where they say the controversial graffiti was found. But before Thurston can even respond, Juliet strides out from one of the adjoining tunnels.
I may. Just sort of post-gathered information before revealing herself. And given, what murder happened at this spot, might she do a premonition more thinking of this lovely lot that's coming to meet her here?
Of the coterie?
Mm-hmm. Just, Malkavian working, signing in at this spot, everything like that.
Yeah, I'll let you, but that's going to be a very difficult task to get much information.
Fine. She has a nice dice pool for this. Okay, so forced. Excellent. Okay. It's going to be that much.
Bugger. You can tell that many of them are hiding secrets of their own, which obviously comes as no surprise to you. Strangely enough, the only one that seems to be the most open and honest and not hiding anything from you is the daughter of Cacophony, Eveline.
Curious. Stepping forward, making sure group sees her. She's just like, come on. Right over here. As you learned last week, position is very important. Just go. Good. We're all gathered? Excellent. I'm sure you all remember one very important thing from our last encounter, that of which is that we still not have retrieved that device, of which should not exist, not only for Masquerade reasons, but, well, we won't go into those matters now.
If it works.
Gentleman is let us say, sequestered. And we have 3 possible locations as to which we might be able to find this device. We can, basically take it in any order that you want. They're oddly, not very far from the point that we are now, which, connections and everything like that, and, we won't go into those things now, but there is a library, a gentleman's club, which I just think might just be best left to be burned down. I mean, if the dice is in there, we might as well just burn it. But that's personal opinion, and we can exactly go around just committing an arson as a good upstanding member of the Ivory Tower. But also, let's see. There's a place just kind of on the outskirts of this place that some people said that they were, followers of Mithras. They weren't. We just let them carry on. It's good to have falsities running around. You understand?
Oh, that sounds interesting.
I lean over to Thirsty. Talks a lot.
I think you two will actually get along quite well. Trust me.
Why? Because she's one of us?
More so
Sorry,
that
did you
she's-
want to go through the painstaking things of pleasantries? I mean, carry on.
More so she's one of you. And we got to see that side last time. You're gonna get along very well.
Sorry, you talk a lot like Aldrich.
When one is important, they must speak a lot, no?
And I look at Thurston.
What'd you say?
Who is she again?
She's the sheriff.
Oh. You're way more important than Aldrich, sorry.
Smart.
Very well. So it sounds like the information speaks for itself. We need to go.
Burn down the
Investigate.
gentleman's club.
Oh, was that the objective?
No,
If that's what the Ivory Tower is
no.
tasked us with.
No, just fleeting fantasies of a past life, let us say. They're, no, we can't just go around committing arson no matter how deplorable the place might be.
I'm
But
sure
we can
we
because
wouldn't.
it's fun.
For the women that'll be injured, though.
I'm sure.
Women aren't exactly allowed in this place. Unless they have a date, an escort.
Or they're working.
The worker women don't get to go through the front doors.
They'd still be in the building if it burned down.
Perhaps we could see to it for the safe removal of the workers and the burning of the establishment in exchange for a significant boon.
Aren't you interested in the fake Mithras cult?
That too, as long as that comes with a boon as well.
I think before any arson happens, if we do arson, oh, god damn it, I have to send out pigeons tonight and I got, okay, that's later. If any arson is to be had, we should probably ensure that if that's how we want to destroy the item, that item is in fact in there, and that we could also, after the fire, of course, is not present anymore, confirm that that item has been destroyed.
Is no one else interested in the fake followers of Mithras?
I am.
I'm interested, but are there going to be more big dogs there?
It's abandoned, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be good to know? Last time we went into the little thing with the people worshiping Mithras, the big werewolves killed everybody.
Which is a good thing to show maybe the sheriff.
Okay, and I don't want to get the sheriff killed. Those things are scary.
sure she'd do fine on her own.
It's a silence with dogs barking. After that,
There are always so many dogs in this area.
Mangy mutts without a home.
Yes, they're nothing like Aldrich's dog. Now that was a proper dog.
And they're nowhere cute as Mr. Cuddles was.
it's debatable.
Yeah.
They certainly had a starkly different appearance. I will agree with you on that. Very well. What should our first course of action be for the night then?
That is up to you,
What's closer?
Juliet stated that they're all pretty much, same distance from the point that they are now. And, she was like,
Convenient.
weird, McCagan bullshit.
Very well, I suppose if all things are equal, we can go alphabetically.
How do you define alphabetically in this state? There are many ways to approach in which to go alphabetically. Sir.
Well,
A
we got
to Z.
Gentleman's Club starts with G. Mithras Cult starts with M. And what was the other one? Sorry, I've been thinking about burning down the club.
Library. Abandoned library.
I don't know if you think about
So
it.
then if it's abandoned, that's first, right?
Abandoned would be an A. That would be the top of our list.
Very well. The most simplistic approach to go with the alphabeticalization in this. Excellent. Though I am a little disappointed that you did not make it a little bit more complicated. That would have been fun. Little insights into your minds. Things that I enjoy.
Oh.
But yes.
You obviously haven't met Aldrich. Don't worry. When we get here, it'll be real complicated, especially Ghost.
I fear no ghost. Very well. Off to the library we go then.
Do we walk away?
You taking a carriage or car? I think the car might be a bit cramped with all 6 of you.
Yeah, Julia, last time she was like, enjoy a piece of the future while you're here. But this time she would have you got the experience. I don't care either way now.
Yeah, we can do a carriage.
Yes, Durston is still mad at me for not bringing him along last time, so I think the carriage with the full crew would be best.
Gradually head out of Mitre Square, and each of them take a seat inside Aldrich's grand carriage. The driver sets off in the direction of the east end. No, of the west end.
Well, actually, does anyone mind if we get a drink on the way?
I'm quite glad you brought that up. Now that I think about it, I'm quite famished myself.
It has already been a rough night.
Very good. Let us do that first. I'm not feeling my best.
Yes, you were quite roughed up last week. Are you feeling just a bit better?
Oh yes, I'm already in perfect health once again, as you can see. Actually, Chiv, I was going to ask if I could do some vicissitude to change some of my stats around / essentially cover the wounds. Probably still has some pretty gnarly internal wounds, but he likes to appear like he's in perfect specimen of health by moving some of his stuff around.
Yeah, I would say that you would be able to use your flesh crafting ability to, in essence, pull the flesh over your wounds and disguise them, though it would still be there, of course.
Yeah, okay.
It wouldn't be too difficult either.
Okay. Yes, let us go. The usual spot.
The carriage makes its way through the city, eventually arriving at one of Aldrich's many properties, the Opium Den. Who is joining him? Everyone going in?
Yeah.
I will.
Oh,
Did you say you were?
Sheriff,
Sorry,
I am
Alistair.
honored to have you as a guest at my establishment as well. I hope it is to your liking.
Oh, there's one way to find out, is there not?
I specialize in different medicinal properties. If there's any particular one you are interested in.
You know, they say gin has medicinal properties. You have any little gin rabbits running around here?
A bit, yeah, that should be easy enough. Establishes like this has much more to offer if you're interested, but if you are content with gin, we can do that.
Curious to hear, but it's not fitting for one such as myself to go to where they are normally found. But yes, please, I am intrigued.
Very well. So yeah, we'll order some people.
Aside from the obvious needs that we've established for two of you, does anyone else have any preferences?
My preferences are for those who are drowsy or sleeping.
Not going to be a problem. Anyone else? We have a fine selection. We have a selection.
By the way, my preference right now is trying cocaine.
Just normal. I don't want to be like those.
Yes,
course.
I didn't quite enjoy my experience last time. Not to anyone's fault but my own. But I too will be going for a normal meal tonight.
Of course. You are led into Aldrich's special VIP room. As always, resplendent with silk sheets, satin pillows, decadent decoration. A few moments later, the same man from the front desk reappears. Jesus Christ, with 6 people in tow. One of which
It's a party!
appears especially drowsy. 2 of which are taking in their surroundings, their eyes shooting from corner to corner to corner. And one of which is swaggering as he stands, desperately trying to keep his balance. The other 2 appear almost frightened, but loyal. They are all escorted in and take their respective seats next to each member of the coterie. Who would like to take the first bite?
I'll go first. Get it out of the way because I'm probably going to kill them.
I'll probably go second for the same reasons.
Wonderful. Alistair bares his fangs at the person on his side. They don't flinch and merely accept it as some extreme love bite. Their knuckles turn white as they hold on to the silk pillow and sheets, and Alistair extracts exactly what he needs, satiating his hunger. You may slake to hunger as the person lets out a pleasurable sigh and sinks further down. Thurston. Wonderful. You also extend your fangs to the person on your side, who seems slightly intimidated by you, but being a loyal employee of Aldrich, knows not to question, and allows you to run your lips over their skin as you extend your own fangs, penetrating them, tapping into the vein, and taking what you need to survive. You may slake 2 hunger, as the person also lets out another sigh of pleasure, leaning on the person next to them. Who's next?
I will lean in very close to mine, right next to his ear, and seductively start singing a lullaby about a lover lost before sinking in my fangs.
Lovely. What's your current hunger level?
2. Taste of a roll.
Okay, what we'll do is, I think, at this point, it's fair to say that you will have adapted to cocaine, and you may gain the high-functioning addict merit as a result of your critical. So you may add 1 die to any category of pool of your choice. As you...
Do I need to choose now?
Yes. Because, yeah. Just write it down as a bonus, because it'll be a modifier for that 1 pool.
Yeah.
Rather than an extra dot.
Let's add it to intelligence.
You seductively sing a melody into the man's ear. You can feel him melting under your vocal cords. He moves in closer, thinking you're trying to kiss or lick his neck, as you bare your own fangs at him and sink them deep into his flesh, extracting exactly what you want and need, feeling this new medicine coursing through your veins, giving you a buzz that you never quite felt before but seem accustomed to. As the man... No, let's not go there. Lets out a pleasurable sigh of his own and falls gracefully into your lap as you slowly stroke his hair. Who's next?
Well,
Go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Whatever Aldrich would have brought her, even if they were in an extreme stupor, she would have asked for, like, like a garden maze or something like that. An additional, high to the hunt. Hunting high someone that's high in the hunt of an actual hunt.
Do you want to go for strength brawl for your feeding?
Yeah. I double checked predator types to make sure.
Alley cat.
Yes.
Wonderful. The man that was swaggering around, attempting to keep balance, looks at Juliet. The coterie don't quite know what happens, but as she keeps eye contact with him, the man turns pale and begins trying to run, getting away from Juliet, who isn't having it, forcefully chasing him down, pinning him onto the floor, bearing her fangs straight in his face, and roughly biting him, extracting exactly what she needs and wants from him, as he lets out a scream of terror at first, that slowly turns into a moan of pleasure. You may slake 2 hunger. However, you feel the effects of gin hitting your system. You will lower your dexterity and intelligence dice pools by 1 die for the remainder of the night. Who's next?
As the individual who's drowsy kind of starts nodding off, I'll go ahead and go in to feed.
The man starts leaning back, his head aimed at the ceiling. Inspector Grey has no qualms, bares his fangs and sinks them roughly into the man's flesh, extracting exactly what he needs, desires and wants, and feels the blood course through his own veins once more. You may slake 2 hunger. However, for the remainder of the night, you subtract 2 dice from all your physical dice pools, and difficulties to resist or control frenzy decrease by 1.
Okay.
As you feel the effects of opium running through your own system. And last but never least, Master Aldrich.
Yeah. Time to show these people how to do drugs. Maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know who the expert drug doers are?
Aldrich stares at the person next to him, who is completely mesmerized by the sight of Juliet hunting, man falling asleep and Inspector Grey biting into him, and all the other strange goings-on. Aldrich does not hesitate, bares his fangs, pulls the person into him, sinking his teeth into their flesh, extracting exactly what he needs and desires. You may slake 2 hunger, and add 1 die to any category pool of your choice.
Alright, if everyone is feeling better, where do we decide? The library? The library, then.
The coterie leave the opium den, heading out onto the streets of London, and each take a seat inside the horse and carriage that makes its way slowly across the city in the direction of the abandoned library. Is there anything you wish to talk about on your way, or just arrive?
Sheriff, do remind me what exactly our goal is for this location.
To determine whether or not the phone listening device that gentleman invented is here. If we
Oh,
do
when did
find
you-
it here, we destroyed the device.
Do you know anything else about this place? You said it is abandoned. Do we know who the previous owners were?
Mm, there are whispers in the knot. There was a family here. Notable nobles, offshots of royalty in the knot. Someone went missing. And then, after a while, the hands of ownership, inheritances and the things of the knot, they finally came into play after it was determined that missing after such a long period of time ensured that they were deceased. It just kind of fell by the wayside a bit. No one really did anything with it. The woman, she got it put in her name, but just let it sit. And over the years, it's been broken into, plundered. Homeless people have found short stays in there in the knot, but there are things that remain.
It sounds haunted. I already hate it. Let's go.
Ooh, haunted fun.
Well, I suppose at least this won't be our first run-in with a ghost we've had to deal with.
If it's haunted and we find the device, we can test to see if it's actually real.
That's true. Evelyn, do you have any sort of devices to detect for anomalies?
Not that are real.
Ah, very well. Well, if this ghost shows itself, then we can use that as our eyewitness accounts.
Coterie approach an abandoned old building. A dusted large wooden sign is nailed to the wall and runs along the length of the building. The window looking in is broken in its frame, and the door to the property hangs on its hinges. The streets are quiet, as if the kine actively avoid this area. Anything you would like to do on approach?
I think I'll go ahead and activate heightened senses so I can listen for ghosts.
Yeah, that'd be free, and all you will hear is the sounds of the city around you, giving wide berth to the shop and its area.
Anything, Inspector?
Oh, nothing obvious. Let's start taking a look around. I'll go in. Are we outside of the doorway?
Yeah.
Or do we enter? I'll test the door, see if it opens.
I mean, it's on its hinges. It's more likely going to fall off in your hand.
Very well. I will try my best to carefully open the door so that we can proceed in. Unless
Door
it's already
falls off its
open.
hinges and falls flat to the floor inside of the shop with a large clang.
It's unlocked. Let's go ahead in.
Excellent work, Inspector.
Make a Whitson result. Oh no, sorry.
Sure.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay. And yeah, I'll proceed in and just keep a lookout, see if I see anything unusual.
The building is covered in a thick layer of dust, though the floor seems suspiciously clear of anything. There are pieces of broken shelving thrown around the room. A broken main countertop is against the back wall, and a single doorway next to it, marked staff only, rests next to it. The door itself seems strangely clean.
Quite curious. This place is quite dusty with disuse, and yet the floors are remarkably clean. I want to investigate the floors, see if I see anything interesting on these very clean floors. Hey, it's not mud.
That's a free action, and the floor is just dusted, cleaned. Nothing suspicious stands out at you, apart from the fact that it is clean, yet surrounded by extremely dusty furniture and splinters of wood and glass.
I would like to peruse the books.
There are no books.
Oh, I was looking at
Place
the
has been
picture.
looted.
The picture shows books.
I couldn't. I'm no artist. Get what I find and can use on Google. There's a few. Where
Are
art thou, Wally books?
Are there windows in the room, and are they broken?
Yes, to both.
Hence the glass on the floor.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Is the glass broken inward or outward?
Inwards.
Oh, it's on the floor.
Well, seeing as the glass is broken inwards, I think the likely conclusion is someone entered the building from outside through the window and then walked across and cleaned this floor.
I look at you in awe. You're incredible at this.
Why, thank you, Alistair. I've been doing this for a lifetime.
You know, if there were more people like you, they maybe would have caught the Ripper.
Perhaps. They just don't make inspectors the way they used to, you know.
Very well done indeed. Couldn't have done it better myself. Not to brag or anything.
I will curiously push open the staff door.
As you approach the staff door, pieces of wood and splinters mixed in with a few shards of broken glass are whipped into the air in a frenzy. The dusted debris tornado angles itself and spins out, aiming pieces of wood, glass directly at each member of the coterie. I would like you all to make a dexterity and athletics roll, please.
Oh, look, there's the ghost.
I'm gonna browse decks. Wait, did that go? Okay, I did that wrong. My bad. Oh, no, not that. Oh. Sorry, I'm still not used to roll 20.
It's alright.
Oh. No. There we go.
Oh, wonderful. Everyone manages to dodge out of the way of the splintered glass, apart from Eveline, who is taken by surprise as pieces of wood and glass embed themselves into her flesh. You take 2 superficial damage, and the same for Aldrich, who is hanging around at the back, expecting some sort of spirit or apparition to appear, and was unable to move out of the way in time. Each of you take 2 superficial damage. God, I hope that doesn't put you back in torpor, Aldrich.
No, by moving some of my flesh, I've bumped up my stamina, so my health got beefier.
Excellent.
Otherwise, I would have been close.
Staff
Gray
door.
would just.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say, Gray would, like, as the glass was coming through, Gray would lazily, like, look up and just barely dodge in the nick of time. He's reacting a little more slowly.
He says with 6 successes.
It's still with a -2.
He matrixed it.
Okay, this place is most certainly haunted. It is time to expedite this process. I want everyone to find clues very fast. I will be near the door with Thurston, guarding it.
Oh, you're so helpful.
Yes, and yeah, he's in his bad mood because of ghosts, and he's clearly perturbed, and he's gonna head on a swivel, waiting for something else to attack him. Thurston at his side now.
Are you saying Durston or Thurston?
Durston.
Oh,
Would you like to head back to the door?
Also, may I rouse to heal some of that?
Of course, please.
Or mend?
Gain a hunger, but heal 1.
yes, of course, Aldrich. Post haste, and Gray would go ahead and enter the room and start looking around for clues of this ghost.
The door is unlocked and opens, revealing a looted storage room, completely bereft of its contents. In a small corner is a dirty and blood-stained blanket. Next to it, an empty metal cup, usually used by beggars. And there, next to the blanket and cup, is an obvious trapdoor made of wooden double doors, with one unlatched and open, revealing a wooden staircase that leads deeper into the darkness.
Hello! Is there a presence here wanting to be known?
When did this start?
I mean, if it works in the seances, maybe it'll work for real.
You're missing like half the thing.
I wasn't prepared. We don't even have a table.
Perhaps we were assaulted by the ghost of a beggar, and I'd point to the bloody cloth in the cup.
What makes you think they were a beggar?
Surely that's what the can is for.
Oh, ghost, were you a beggar?
Why do you say it like that? It sounds so weird.
That's how you talk to him.
How I talk to my ghost.
Heard by the other side. Well, then you talk to him.
Hey, ghost, are you here?
Juliet's just gonna force a sigh and sense the unseen.
I look at Evelyn and stick
Only
my tongue out.
Alistair hears that.
Oh, I still do that. I look at Evelyn and stick my tongue out.
What was that for?
It laughed.
Oh,
I didn't hear it.
What laugh?
I didn't hear it either. It must be his voices.
Only you can hear me. Don't worry.
Did it sound like a beggar's laugh?
No.
Beggar's laugh.
And this isn't a voice in my head. This is new.
Well, technically it is a voice in your head. I think.
Or only I can hear it and it's not it.
Storyteller, would Juliet know that this was the coterie member missing from last time, or even if there was a coterie member missing from last time, and possibly what clan they are?
You would... Yeah, I actually, given that you met...
We talked about him.
Yeah, the seer and all the other information, because even when she's on drugs, Juliet is still sharp as a sword and will be able to work it out.
Mm-hmm. She just kind of, like, passe-ly, like, waves her hand at him. Oh, you're young. That's the network. You'll get used to it. Wait until they become a cacophony.
The what? Hold on. Sorry, I'm having a conversation. I put my hand up to my ear and turn.
I'm actually having in the back of my mind 3 separate conversations right now, but I am able to maintain conversations with everybody that is here present.
So you can hear the ghost too?
I mean, I'm not choosing to listen to her right now because what's going on in the network and the parts of the network that I currently have access to are far more
Can she hear you too?
I start humming.
I would, Gray would go ahead and open up the trapdoor. Perhaps we should proceed. Thurston, after you.
Very well. And as I proceed, I will activate heightened senses, and specifically keeping an ear out for anything.
Everyone heading down, or...? You just pushing
Yes,
the Nosferatu
Except for
down
Aldrich?
the stairs. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna open it up so everyone else can go, and then
If it's getting to the point where everyone else is going in and Aldrich's about to be left alone, he at least wants to have fodder around, so he'll reluctantly hurry up to catch up with them if he sees them getting out of eyesight.
I don't know if I would go down if she was talking to me or it was talking. I would just stand there talking to the air until somebody grabbed me or she told me to go down. But at that point, yeah.
It's a strange moment in a storyteller's life where he's like, oh, I just stand there talking to thin air until someone grabs me and pulls me down Looney Tunes style. And you, as a storyteller, are just like, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. What the fuck happened to me?
Just saying that out loud because if Aldrich's, I'm still there, I guess. If that changes what you for your father.
No. I think that would be worse, being alone with just Alistair than he's gonna go.
When I go down, I make sure that there is no one below me before I descend because I am a proper lady.
Priorities.
Insert witty one-liner there, everyone. The stairs
it'd probably
crack.
just be.
Sorry, go on.
I was just gonna probably say it'd probably if Evelyn went after Thurston, it'd probably just be Thurston.
Me and you both, JJ. The stairs crack and creak as the coterie steadily descend down into darkness, only knowing they have made it to the end of the long descent by the change of the sound their footsteps make, from wooden clunks to stone. The coven of undead walk all but a few paces forward, and then small lanterns light themselves across the room. Across the room is a young woman, clearly of foreign descent, dressed as if for a funeral. She gives them a small, visible wry smile, and out of the very walls themselves, a number of apparitions materialized in front of them, standing between the coterie and the strange female figure before them. She raises a hand with a pointed finger towards the coterie, and the spirits charge forth at them as the mysterious figure tells the coterie that they have broken my dream. Juliet and possibly Aldrich recognize a vague hint of an Italian accent in the brief sentence they hear. And Alistair being Alistair...
Stop them. Now!
Stop who?
Like, as they're rushing at me, because I know we're in combat, I guess. I'm sorry, we didn't mean to crash your party. Right then, Aldrich.
I'll scream.
Right behind Thurston. I turn and face the other way. Who?
This isn't me.
Alistair, do you mind translating what you are hearing?
She said stop them. I don't know if she wants me to stop you guys or them.
Ask what she wants?
No, that's you gotta be more specific. Not specific, but like you can't ask a question to spirits like that and have it general, because if you give them a question to where it's going to be general, you're not.
Hey, I hate to interrupt you, but we're being charged by spirits.
Screaming at them.
Yeah.
Meaning the closest one.
Mm.
I find it more difficult to try to give instructions to Alistair than to try to modify his instructions to the ghost. This is his realm of expertise. I do not pretend to understand any of it.
Do your roll, Eveline, please. And don't forget your rouse check.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to go to you. Eveline lets out a howling banshee wail at one of the incoming spectres. Even though it's not quite solid, the power of her voice still has an effect upon it, and she can see pieces of what looks like ghostly flesh fly off into the back of the room, stopping it in its tracks. Who'll be next?
I would bite the inside of my mouth to prepare for a scorpion's touch.
That's a rouse check on this turn for it.
Yep.
Excellent. Who is next?
I'll go next.
Okie dokie.
Can't think of what he say. Cast Demontation. Hey, you stop.
Anyone in particular?
You say that like I get to choose one of the coder members as well.
You do?
Nobody's
I would
done anything
suggest-
yet to make me feel like that they need to stop. So you don't get to try to persuade me not to.
No, I was gonna say if you're going for the spirits, I suggest not the one that I hit because you're doing willpower damage.
I don't know what that means. We've never had this talk in game, so I wouldn't know. What's the one closest to Thurston? Which just if there's we don't have a board. Pick one.
Yeah, just pick one, and then we'll say
Second one on the left.
straight on till morning.
Yeah. Do you want to see the
I
thing?
do, please, because I never remember what the defense is. Composure and intelligence. Okay. Very nice. Want to have some fun, honey bunny?
Yeah, why not?
Alistair wills the vitae in his veins to his own vocal cords as he says the sentence towards the murderous spirit, currently charging straight towards Thurston. The spirit is taken aback and seems to stop in its tracks, forgetting what it was trying to do, as Alistair's words echo through the room. However, as they do, the beast inside of Alistair stirs awake. His extrasensory gifts run wild, and Alistair experiences what might be truths or portents, but what others call figments of the imagination dredged up by hunger. While he is still functional, however, Alistair's mind and perceptions are skewed. He receives a 2 dice penalty to all rolls involving dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits, as well as on rolls to resist terror frenzy for the remainder of the scene. You are suffering from the Malkavian delusion compulsion, sir.
Okay.
Great. Now he's hearing even more voices.
Yeah, and I get a 2 dice penalty to basically anything I can do.
From what I remember from the last time we had to fight a spirit, they had to become corporeal for us to be able to hit them.
I've been a bit more relaxed on that depending on the base of
Right.
the power. If you're just going to try a physical punch, most definitely. But they also have to be solid to do physical punches to you.
Right, and my question was going to be after Alistair did his thing to the one nearest to me, do I notice a change in its visage?
Yeah, it's solid.
Can I hit it with my sword then?
You most certainly can.
Cool. I was trying to work in previous knowledge that the character
I mean,
had, so.
I will advise you That's not your wisest course of action because of the difference. Well, that's probably metagaming if I tell you that, so I'll just be quiet and let you do it.
I won't even know what you're talking about, so I'm still gonna hit it with my sword.
All right. Strength melee.
Damn it. And it's not worth re-rolling just that one die.
Thurston unsheathes his sword and gracefully swings at the incoming ghost, which manages to dodge out of the way and allow the blade to pass harmlessly in front of it. Who is next?
Go. I have an idea. Okay. I'm gonna use Capel mixed with mass manipulation. I'm gonna rouse, her manipulation, and basically command the spirits to expel themselves from this place and find a new haunt. She doesn't want to fuck with fighting spirits right now, so let's just try to fucking get rid of them and find what they came here for. Hopefully.
Do the roll for me, please.
Okay, alright.
That's not going to be
Rousing
too difficult, but it's not going to be easy either.
Yeah, manipulation rouse passed. Excellent. Compel rouse. Okay, that failed, but it doesn't come until after. So, down to dominate. And then roll all the dice.
Can't disagree with that.
I think that's a crit.
You think? Hi, Pixie. Juliet commands the ghosts to leave and haunt elsewhere. The ghosts stop in their tracks, so to speak. Turn towards the woman at the back of the room and slowly disapparate harmlessly.
Julia just kind of deflates wherever she's standing. She's just like, I very seldom get headaches. That shit starts it. Shall we continue on because we are burning moonlight?
That is an option to simply. You have made my life much easier in the future.
You're welcome.
I will keep the blood in my mouth and I won't say anything.
Thurston, can you tell what she is? Just Thurston
I
has that
can
power, right?
try. Yeah. And I will cast Sense the Beast on her, which is that.
Your roll, please. Wonderful. You will see a vampiric beast inside of her, and you will know instantly that she is kindred.
Well,
And
she's definitely
pissed
one
off.
of us. And very angry.
I'm not going to do the Italian accent because it sounds more like Mario. So just picture your own Italian accent. Why? What are you? Why are you here? Who are you? And a very female voice as well.
During this escapade, I go sit in the corner and open a book. I don't have a book. I open a book and start reading, mumbling to myself.
And of course you will hear.
Yes, I'll be with you in 1 second. I'm reading. You all hear that?
Excuse me, ma'am. Who are you?
I am Lily. And you are? Have you been sent here by Michael?
I'll curtsy and say, I am Eveline, and yes, indeed we have.
And have you news of the Dracon and Antonius?
I look at the sheriff.
Sheriff's player looks to the storyteller.
Oh, that's way before Juliet's time.
Not to my knowledge. Circles that don't exactly overlap. She definitely has a look on her face and shaking her head like, this doesn't fit.
What news have you of the dream of Constantinople?
It's Istanbul now. No, I don't actually say that.
We were all sat here going, oh God, it's in our head now.
It's nobody's business but the czar's.
I also don't know what year that happened.
If you are not here of Michael, like you said, then why are you here? Why have you invaded my sanctum? What is your purpose here?
We've come to retrieve a box. He said it would be here.
But you were not sent to save me?
That wasn't mentioned.
Are you Prometheans, or...
We are on a special mission.
from Michael?
To retrieve a box.
But not me.
Correct.
Charisma. Subterfuge. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no box here, just myself and my memory of the dream.
I will go up to her and take her hand and say, I'm sorry. What would you like me to tell him?
I search for him. I yearn for him. The dream is real. Have you seen... Remember my lore here? I think at this point they're called Micah. Have you seen Micah?
I have not, no.
Is the dream still real?
I'm trying to be very compassionate to her during Oddless. I'm sorry. I do not know.
Loudly in the corner. Are you in the box?
Juliet.
Yes.
I think you will have received enough information from the character to realize that she is most definitely not Camarilla.
the way I see it, not my jurisdiction, so not my problem. I mean, something to be aware of, absolutely. But no, not of my ilk.
Do you know of Micah?
Theories. Astrid also has theories. What were you? I mean, it's recently come into my knowledge that we can become spirits, but what was your lineage?
I was of
Clan.
Cappadocius.
Typical. Expected. Here you had me thinking we had some other thing that might appease some other fear. Come to think of it, I'm not. Yes, no. Very good.
Your clothes, all of you, you are dressed so strangely.
I'm used to people telling me that.
I am dressed in the height of fashion.
As am I.
We even got the paint spot out.
Took forever.
I know not these terms in such strange places. What is going on here? Who are you with, if you are not with the dream? Tell me that Antonius sent you at least, and not the Dracon.
I'm sorry, we were just sent here for a box.
There is no box here, and if you have no news for me, then leave me, and I shall return to Torpor.
Sweet dreams. And I'll turn to leave.
Juliet, I think it would be fair to say it is your duty as sheriff to remove this kindred that is not Camarilla nor Mithras.
And so, as the individuals of the coterie do what they will, begin to exit, she'll take out her rapier, just standing very much in place, and it's like her demeanor, how she holds herself, the expression on her face almost makes her look like a different person. Especially with how young she looks, and the voice, like, the command of insurance that you hear behind it just shouldn't match someone that seems to be that young. And she essentially goes through, recites which, traditions allow her to do such, and under the right of, the prince, name them, their clan, prince's sire, their own sire, and will impale them through and do it in a way to where when they bring the rapier up, they'll kind of like twist it to get additional purchase. And when they pull it out, they'll put their second hand on the rapier, although it's not needed, and yank it out in a way to ensure that the heart comes with it.
Strength, melee.
Okay, I think I have to set that one up. Yes, I do. Okay, let's see. Strength.
You should be able to click the dice button beside melee and then choose strength.
Oh, okay. Wait, melee. There it is. Ah, there we go.
Would you like success at cost?
Very much so.
Juliet runs the rapier through, impaling the body, as described, taking the heart out. The kindred is more shocked and surprised at this sudden hostility towards her from a completely unknown, mysterious figure, and drops to the floor, turning to ash before she even impacts upon the stone floor before her. As she does so, Juliet looks down, the job satisfied. However, the beast inside of her begins to rear and buck, and her extrasensory gifts run wild. Juliet experiences what might be truths or portents, but what others might call figments of the imagination, dredged up by hunger. Although she is still functional, Juliet's mind and perception are skewed, and she receives a 2-dice penalty to rolls involving dexterity, manipulation, composure, and wits, as well as on rolls to resist terror frenzy for the remainder of the scene. You are also suffering from the Malkavian delusion compulsion.
Played an odd combination of blood and ash. I'm altering that thing I pitched to you. She takes it, and she goes to kind of like wipe it on her shoulder. And she's like, wait, I told you I don't care for this. And then she wipes it, and you hear like, oh, deep southern, like kind of grandma sort of voice as she takes it across her shoulder. Now, I told you that that's the such the past that you pay for having to use me, little girl. Wipes the one side here, wipes the other shoulder. Just that sort of deep southern chuckle. God damn it, I thought I fucking got rid of you! You know what? It's fine. It's fine. Is there anything else that we need to do here? Because she like brings the sword up very much like you would with like fencing, especially because it's like a rapier. But with how her arm moves, it seems like that it's like making her do it. Like the sword somehow has control over parts of her body. She's like, this thing, I obviously have to put it in its goddamn place again, because it doesn't understand who the fucking master is. Oh, sugar, now come on. You know here, we settled this argument long ago. Yes, and we will repeat it until you understand me. Am I clear? Sure, you just go on talking like that. Fine. Seize it.
I go and sit in the corner with Alistair.
I already left the room.
Aldrich was just watching that entire thing. And not that I am one to be questioning one such as you, Sheriff, but what the fuck was that?
That is Sandra. And Sandra is a bitch.
The woman you just stabbed?
No, my fucking rapier.
Okay. Why did you kill that woman?
Because they deserved it. Because they broke laws to the point in which they had to be eradicated.
While you're
Very
having
well.
this conversation, when Thurston sits down, I'll look at him, and it looks like I'm holding a book. Do you think that if Durston dies, we could like stuff him and do that thing that they're doing now called taxidermy? Maybe put him on the steps to like guard the house.
That would be a masquerade breach. No. Because if you do that, then what I did to her, I will have to take Sandra here and do the same to you.
Wait, what is she talking about? Why is she threatening me?
You know you want to do it.
What?
That's a dog. can't you stuff a dog?
Alistair, I believe that knowing Aldrich, he would just simply make a new Durston.
Can you do that?
He can.
Out of thin air?
So, I believe going by this, the inspector's advanced system for completing tasks, I believe Gentleman's Club is next on the list.
I'll yell down the stairs. Are you guys coming?
Do I leave with them? I'm confused.
Is our business concluded here, Sheriff?
You turn to her to ask her that, and you basically see her back already out at the door. So yeah, she's out of there.
Aldrich will exit as well.
I will have been waiting up by the door until Aldrich comes, and I take his arm as we walk.
I will follow Aldrich.
So Alistair, are you ready to leave?
I don't know if I'm supposed to come in here and some random person starts talking. And then she starts yelling at me.
I don't think she was directing it at you.
She threatened to kill me. And I'll go up and walk the stairs.
As we're both walking up the stairs. Most people that don't know our coterie, Thurston, Durston, very easy mistake to make.
Am I supposed to leave? Who are you?
Kill that one.
Thurston?
Yes, Alistair?
Oh. Keep walking.
Okay.
Now I just look really agitated.
Coterie head out and want to get straight into the carriage.
There's some reason we wouldn't.
And goodbye, Sandra.
I'm gonna sit. Oddly enough, I normally sit next to Alistair. I'm gonna sit next to Aldrich. Aldrich, I know that this is a very common sentence that we say, but I think it's very important this time. I think there might be something wrong with Alistair.
What has caused your concern this time?
Well, it sounded like he was talking to me, but then when I reciprocated the talk, he walked off, and I just, he's had tendencies to murder things, and I don't want it to be me.
Then don't murder you.
I think you might be the safest from Alistair, to be honest.
I don't know if that's
If you pay attention, he's always talking to somebody, whether we see them or not. Oftentimes, there's snide remarks about one of the coterie members, usually me. I try not to listen as much because they're usually just rude, and or they don't make sense. And half the time I do pay attention, I realize it's about now that I know what to know about him, it's about him killing people. You know what I noticed today?
Just tell everybody.
No, I think he's whispering this to me.
Yeah,
No, well,
be a side
Sitting
conversation.
right next to him, so I'm assuming I
him
would
and
hear
Thurston.
it.
I
I'd be
didn't
sitting on
tell
the
him.
other
I
side.
told Thurston.
Or another thing I've picked up on, he mentions Jack the Ripper a lot.
Does he?
He does.
Well, you may say that I'm probably the safest around him, but honestly, I don't know if any of us are safe.
I mean, safest is relative to the rest of us, yes.
True.
Please do your best
Not
to
even I am safe.
keep an eye on him.
Yes.
From a From a safe distance, yes. I'll try.
Shiver, would I have overheard that conversation because I haven't turned off my heightened senses yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I forgot you have to manually turn those off.
Yeah, I would just lean over and say, Thurston, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I mean, really, when we accidentally kill Kind, is that really murder?
Inspector, were you eavesdropping on my conversation?
Not intentionally, it happened.
Let's make sure it does not happen in the future.
My apology.
And also, we're going to discuss what you said later. There's a lot to unpack there.
Very well.
He just explained him.
To the Gentleman's Club.
The carriage is probably shaking, by the way, and if you look over one of my legs bouncing rapidly.
Your compulsion is over, by the way.
Doesn't matter.
I know.
I'm standing with
When
Thurston and
it's
some
you-
ghost told
When
me to
it's you,
kill
it
him.
makes little change.
Yeah.
Before
So-
going in,
No, please, madam.
before going into the gentleman's club, I would like to take a veil or a scarf or whatever I may have handy and either drape it over my head or put it under my hat over my face so no one can tell who I am when I go in.
The coven of undead slowly and confidently approach the entrance to the club and are stopped on the doorway by a fairly intimidating man who raises his hand at the coterie. Women can only be accompanied by men.
I'll put my arm around Aldrich's.
And just because Juliet is Juliet, she'll put her arm on his other one. It kills her a little bit inside, but it kills them a little bit too, so it's worth it.
Final raise.
If she could see Eveline's face, she'd see the scowl on it.
If any of you mess up, we come down hard on you. Should your dates misbehave in any unladylike way, you get banned. Clear?
We'll do a side glance at Juliet. But of course.
Man gives a smile and a nod to the coterie before standing to one side and opening one of the wooden double doors for the coterie to enter, as he says, "You enjoy your night. That one wearing trousers is going to be trouble, but we'll let her off this time."
Wordlessly enter.
The coterie stride in, taking in the cosy, costly surroundings of a large room, eyeing up the bar that runs across a large chunk of the back wall, filled with exotic bottles of all different shapes and sizes, and hasn't neglected a large selection of draft beers, judging by the amount of taps the bartender has available. The coterie begin to scan the customers, not really recognizing anyone until their eyes settle on the obvious figure of Sri Sansa, sat down at a table quietly on his own, seemingly sipping from a ceramic cup.
Are there any other women in the audience?
No.
I would like to just take a look over the working ladies on the floor to gauge their general state.
It's not that kind of gentleman's club.
Oh,
It's like a no girls allowed club, right? Yeah,
it's not a brothel too?
Not a brothel.
No.
It's a gentleman's club. Back then,
Yeah.
it was those are two very different things. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a no girls allowed club. It's a bunch of dudes talking bullshit.
The kind of club where you'd see a priest, right?
Yeah, almost.
Doesn't narrow it down.
So, Sheriff, we believe this could be a location of the box as well? Seems a bit crowded. Something like that would be noticed.
Which is why we find our ways to the back. Because such things aren't just going to be left for the general public on the open floor can find. Will
Wait,
it?
I don't. What kind of box is this?
It
Does
is
Juliet have any idea how big it is or anything like that?
it's
This
called a
item?
psychograph, is that correct?
Psychophone. It's pretty. It's not something you could put in your pocket, but it's something you could hold with two hands.
Yeah, something they can stick, in the back of the closet, under a bed, things of that nature. It's sizable. You need two hands to carry it, but it's nothing too, structurous.
Should we look in hidden places, or should we ask around to see if a strange device has been noticed by anyone?
I wouldn't call it a device. It would be a collectible.
Perhaps Alistair, Thurston, and myself can look around while the rest of you ask around.
I think that is a good idea.
I would like to look to see if I can find where the restroom is.
Be on one side of the bar, to the left. To the left. It's on one side of the bar.
Are there any other doors around the restroom?
Not around the restroom. The bathroom. No.
It's all by itself. Okay. There goes up.
Literally just one door as well.
Thurston, Alistair, care to join me in the restroom?
That's really weird. Yes.
Sure.
So, I'd proceed to the restroom, and if the restroom is clear when we're in there, I would step into a stall and use obfuscate.
Give me a chance. As you're making your way to the bathroom, a man walks swiftly over to the group with Inspector Grey, Alistair, and I think, was it Thurston with you as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Inspector Grey recognizes him from his former life with the police force. The man cheerfully greets him. Inspector Grey! It really is you. You look a bit worse for wear, though. Don't suppose you remember me, do you?
Oh, yes, sorry. I'm just getting over a cold. How have you been?
Not bad. I mean, you busted me back in the day. Public disorder. You actually were a big help to me. If you hadn't busted me hauling my ass into prison and let me sober up, I would have likely ended up dead in the gutter from consumption.
Well, it's good to see you've straightened things up and turned things around.
Yeah, these days I'm a far more respectable businessman. I give urchins something to do. I run a chimney sweeping business. Anyway, I was told you died and left the peelers. What are you doing here and alive?
Oh, well, you see, I got, well, I would take him over to a more quiet corner as best we can. Now, you'll have to keep quiet about this. But, I got involved with, some clandestine operations, some mafia sorts, and I had to go into a sort of protection. I retired from the force, and my death was faked, and I'm to lay low. They had to change my name and everything.
Right, sounds real full on. Mum's the
Yes,
word and all that. I promise I will only tell my best friends.
I would appreciate it if you told no one else. They may hear word that I'm alive and come after.
So what
surely-
you're saying is, it's really important that no one else knows your secret.
That's go ahead.
Yeah, you shouldn't tell anybody I cast Cloud Memory.
Do the roll for me,
I was
please.
trying to fit in there, and I was like, you are just going to keep talking. I'm going to interrupt.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to...
I would like to have done it.
Attention,
Yeah, I would like to have done it on his rebuttal when the inspector said, you should tell nobody. And he said, I'll just tell my best friend. And I was going to Cloud Memory.
Actually, you don't need to roll because it's free against an unprepared mortal. So I'm talking out of my bum. So that's absolutely fine. And the man will just stand there with the same strange smile on his face.
I just tapped the inspector on the arm.
Yeah, I'll go. I'll head into the bathroom.
And I think heading into the bathroom seems like an appropriate time for us to take a break and head to the bathroom. So we shall be right back. A seance!
Of course. Say, that gentleman wouldn't be here tonight, would he?
Possibly. I'm not entirely sure. You'd have to talk to the owner to know who's, not on the floor.
I would be quite interested in his little invention for one of my parties.
What I can do is I can grab the owner for you and he can come over and have a chat.
Oh my god, that would be wonderful. Oh my goodness gracious, that would be wonderful.
Well, please. Blasphemy's okay here. If you'd like to take a seat, that's absolutely fine. I'll go and get him for you.
Oh, thank you very much, good sir.
And the barman points towards a lavish-looking booth that the trio now see directly behind them. The chairs are extremely comfortable and make the trio feel they are sitting on a cloud as they settle in, as the general ambience of the club seems to be drowned out. Alistair, Inspector Grey, Thurston, in the bathroom together.
We're going in
Scandalous.
stalls to obfuscate.
Okay. It's a rouse check for Cloak of Shadows.
Yes, it is.
Wonderful. And you will your vitae around your body. Not actually becoming invisible, but it affects those around you and anyone who observes you in such a manner that you are obfuscated from their general line of sight.
You have Cloak of Shadows?
Oh, sorry. Whatever the one that you.
Unseen Passage?
Yes.
Unseen
So,
Passage.
sorry.
I was
Unseen
like-
passage.
That's
You
my
have
fault.
something I
That's my
don't?
fault. That's my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Unseen passage. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't catch it.
I guess seeing what the inspector is doing, I'll follow suit. Well,
After
seeing that he went in and came out invisible.
Yep, do a rouse check for me, please. And we'll discuss logic after the show. Gain a hunger.
Well, the door opens and nothing was there.
Yeah, I know.
He's not invisible. Before I do it, I'm like, these are the cleanest bathrooms I've ever seen, and I'll walk out the stall. Guys? Guys? Right. I'll walk back in. Passage.
Okay.
Rouse
Rouse
check.
check as well. Lovely.
I'll silence a death too.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And I'll use Sense the Unseen to try to keep an eye on.
Oh.
We both have that. Technically, it's passive.
Yeah.
Kind of. Can be. If there's something obvious. But you can also use it
Oh.
actively.
Yeah, but if we all know we're there, I would think just passively we'd be able to.
Okay. Those of you who are casting Sense the Unseen, please do your roll. You will the vitae around your eyes, attempting to see that which is usually out of the normal plane. You successfully do so, and you see nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever.
With that, I guess I'll wait for someone to come in the door to open, and then I'll slip on out.
Okay, yep. It won't take long. At some point, it's inevitable. As you wander out, you will see a man you don't recognize talking with Aldrich, Eveline, and Juliet over in a luxurious booth that you strangely didn't notice before.
And I take it though, like, with like the private rooms and stuff, are those upstairs or in a area or something?
You don't know.
I would want to look around to see if I can see where they might have some private rooms or something like.
You don't see
If
anything.
I can. Okay. Other than the bathroom door we're leaving, are there any other doors?
Only the main entrance and exit that you can see.
Interesting. I'll use Sense the Unseen.
Oh, you already failed.
No? Then I suppose I will walk towards the coterie and listen in.
You see a man exotically and flamboyantly dressed in a scarlet-coloured velvet suit with a white lily of the valley in his lapel. And perhaps more shocking to all of you, he is completely absent of any tie, with his shirt buttoned provocatively undone. The man grabs a nearby wooden chair and spins it round with one hand to place himself at the end of the coterie's table. Forgive me for this accent. Good evening, I'm Mr. Fairhand, Shane Fairhand. What brings you to my fine establishment tonight? And with two charming women, no less. It should be most interesting.
I'll politely giggle.
Juliet's jaw clenches, teeth grind, gives him a good, solid look.
Yeah, thank you for showing us patronage in your most impressive of establishments. We were told that you had some information that might help satiate my companion's curiosity here. Something about a machine that works with spirits and light or something of the sort?
Spirits? What, like drinking spirits?
No, I'm told that it's an invention that would be wonderful at my next seance.
Oh, very interesting. What exactly is it that you're willing to part with for this machine, eh? Can't look at anyone when I do this.
Oh, we were just curious about it. I did not know it was here or for sale.
Well, I haven't confirmed either. I was merely making an inquiry. You try saying inquiry when you sound like this, eh?
I wouldn't dream of it. Well, I am a man of many means, so I suppose if it is there's a price to anything for my companion here. Name your price, please.
Well, I don't like to do business out here on the floor. It's very unbecoming of a gentleman. Why don't you all come back into the back room with me, where I prefer to discuss business?
But of course, after you.
You can bring that man that seems to be leering over us as well. I think he's with you.
What man?
The good Mr. Gray.
We can't see him, can we? No.
Oh,
but he can. He's right there. You daft wee twat. That went a bit Scottish there, sorry.
During this conversation, I will have taken the glass of wine or whatever you gave me and put it under my veil like I was drinking it, but not actually drinking it.
I'll tip my hat and nod.
Where are the other two? Would they like to come with you as well?
Our opinion? Or is he talking to thin air when he says this?
Well, Inspector Gray has spoken, so he's broken up the skate.
Oh, okay.
Wait, did I speak?
I think he said something.
You tipped his hat.
I
He
tipped
tipped
my
his
hat.
hat.
Oh, no. You tipped your hat, yeah. Well,
You
that
can see
doesn't break
me.
it, but I'm still directly talking to you. I can see you, you know.
Yeah. I know he's talking to me. Just he was asking at the other cuddly members. I didn't want to speak.
Yes, let's gather everyone involved, let's say to the air, and follow this gentleman to the back room.
Got a very interesting accent. Are you from Manchester?
No.
Somewhere up north. Leeds, is it?
Yes, something like that.
Oh, you're not from bloody Sheffield, are you?
After you, as I said.
Jane stands up gracefully, asking the coterie politely to follow him as he leads them through the main club floor, through a door on the back wall that previously no one saw. It leads into a decadent room. Sorry?
Sorry, because it's kind of been established that Alistair and Thurston haven't gone over there yet. But Alistair, I think the man was talking directly to Inspector Gray, even though we're all clearly unseen. I think we should just join them.
Okay. Why do we keep getting brought into places where people can see us?
I don't know, it makes this very difficult.
We need to talk to Aldrich.
Decadent room is filled with leather high-back seats, incredible works of art with gold leaf frames, marble statues, and expensive exotic rugs covering the floor. Come, take a seat. I shall have refreshments brought in if any of you so wish.
I will take a seat.
I'm never one to turn down a refreshment.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I am well enough, thank you.
Shane claps his hands loudly, and they seem to echo through the filled room, and only a few moments later, a man clearly of Mediterranean origin strides in holding a silver platter above his shoulder and containing several crystal glasses. I can bloody say it in bloody Welsh, can't I? Several crystal glasses, each containing a light sparkling golden liquid. He sets it down on a table in front of Shane, and almost straight away the glasses begin to frost with condensation. Champagne. You'll find no higher quality within a 4-mile radius. Drink up, drink up.
Question.
Aldrich will take a drink.
Does
There you
Blush
go.
of Life allow you to drink? Okay, then I would like to cast Blush of Life.
Let's check for me, please.
Oh, likewise.
Rouse check for me, please. Gain a hunger. It's damn good
Okay.
champagne.
Mm.
Alistair, Inspector Gray, Thurston. Well, Alistair and Thurston don't need to rouse check because they can imbibe liquids
Oh,
already.
this isn't blood. This is actual refreshments.
Yep.
So,
Oh, then yeah, I would not be drinking.
I have for humanity. We discussed this, remember, because I'm not supposed to consume that stuff, but I have.
You have the merit,
The
so I'd
trait?
say the merit
So
overrides it.
in this instance, would it? Okay, all right, cool. Because we discussed the kind of get the leeway is, I wouldn't be able to use it just willy nilly. You know what I mean? I would drink.
Hard decision, Inspector Gray. Blush your life for a glass of champagne or not?
I suppose when in Rome, do as the Roman.
Sure, rouse check for me, please. You also gain a hunger. So, you're after a certain device, are you? I've come to this city myself very recently, having only taken recent ownership of the establishment from a family friend. I had heard there was a piece of jewellery, a very exquisite piece at that. A monocle, very special one. Do you know anything about that? I'm losing the accent here. That's what happens.
We've heard. I can't remember the history of the monocle. We had it at one point, right?
The Fae had it.
Mm-hmm.
I think promptly took it back. I am familiar with this item. I do like to have an idea of who I'm doing business with, though. If you would allow me a formal introduction. I myself am Aldrich, a clan of the king.
What did I not say? My name is Shane. Shane Fairhand. Fairhand by name, Fairhand by nature. I'm slipping slowly into Scott. I'm very sorry.
And the line you belong to?
The line? I don't know. What do you mean, the line? There was no line.
We're all in here now, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Going to try and keep it up as long as I can now.
Thurston, will you do me the honors?
What do you mean?
Swear to God, Thurston.
I figured he is. I'll find
He's
out
being
if-
coy with us. I would like to cut through some of the nonsense, get to the bottom of it.
Fine. I'll do it.
You know
the
I'm
easy
standing
way.
right here and I can hear everything you say.
I do, and you seemed, as I said, a bit coy with my question.
But your question was, who am I? And asked what line I came from. There was no line. I inherited the property.
It was an odd question. My friend can answer it for me, though. Or for you.
Yes, please, just let me look upon you for a
Or
moment.
to know if you even belong to the family, I suppose.
Oh, don't look at me like that. You're bloody ugly, you are.
You'll get used to it.
Oh, don't know about that. You're bloody ugly and I came from fucking Wales. Sorry, I can say that. I have relatives in Wales. The
Perhaps.
only relatives in the valley. Okay, do your thingy for me, please.
Yay.
That's gonna go to
Hey!
you. Okay, so you cast your gaze upon him, and you don't see any sign of any kind of beast within this creature. He doesn't seem he doesn't seem hostile towards you either.
Okay. Well, color me surprise, Aldrich, but the answer is no.
He's not supernatural at all.
No, that only tells me if they have a form of beast, so I can only really tell werewolves and kindred. So
No, it very clearly says
But
marking them as a
determine whether they
vampire
harbour a
or type of
supernatural beast.
supernatural creature.
And that's on a critical.
Oh.
And you didn't get a critical. So you don't get to know anything else about me.
That's right. I'm the ability. I've got the ability that tells me whatever I want.
I had a train named Ivor, I did.
If you're not of the family, and you're asking about this monocle, is it safe to assume you are, what did Aldo call them? Fae?
I think that would be your word for what I am, yes.
Ah, I see. Well, And it will be easier to explain how we know of the monocle. One of your kind was in possession of this. They ran a carnival of sorts. We attempted to retrieve it, and we were soundly rebuffed.
That's right,
Sounds like
British.
Sandra, that does. She's still got that bloody thing.
Perhaps. I'm afraid I do not know her whereabouts since our last encounter, though.
Well, it seems we are at a very fortuitous moment in our business deal, because I don't have this device either. But I feel as if I should owe you something for giving me, I'm really losing it, for giving me this information. I believe your kind like to drink the blood of others.
This is correct?
I could give you
I'll
something.
nervously
very
sip my
special.
champagne at this point.
Yeah, Juliet suppresses a mild internal hiss.
I can give you a vial of my own blood. It seems like a fair bargain.
Do you have any knowledge of how your blood affects us? Actually, Aldrich's had Fey blood before.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
That's why he's stuck with heightened senses. I think that would be most agreeable.
Wonderful. And he claps his hands once more. And the Mediterranean man comes out with a small vial. For any of you that would wish to imbibe it, you may do so.
I think I've done this before.
I do recommend it. It is quite interesting. And if you do run into this person with the item you seek, do give her our regards.
And if you come across this monocle, do let me know. But please don't come back in a hurry. It's a very painful process keeping this accent going.
I will visit regularly. Quite like this club.
We can converse in French if you like.
Aldrich leaves.
I will give a thank you for your hospitality, Mr. Fairhead, and I would give a polite nod and a bow.
Yeah, you're very welcome, boyo.
Sir, may I ask one more small favor?
Of course, please tell me.
May I visit your club again in the future?
Bloody hell no!
Fine! Storms out.
Juliet
Gentlemen.
just finishes her champagne, sets it down, doesn't even give him a second look, and walks right on out. Fuck this misogynistic fuck, changeling or not.
What about you, the man with the badger's foot? On your face.
I quite like it here. I think I'm with Aldrich and wanting to return. I've been sipping my champagne with Pinky out the entire time.
When you have quite a set of manners, you do. You'd be most welcome.
Well, when you look the way I do, you have to show people in other ways that you are respectable.
Oh, I
Thurston,
know
we
all
talked about
that. I'm
this.
from
It's
Wales.
overcompensating.
But I'm sorry, dear Alistair, what did you say?
You're overcompensating.
That's what I always do. This is no different.
Right, but you didn't tell him that.
That's because most people just assume it. That was Thurston falling out of his chair.
Can I keep the cup?
Of course you can.
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.
Did he give anybody the Fey blood yet?
I was waiting for
Was it
someone
offered to
take
all
it.
of us, or was it just one vial?
Yeah,
One
I thought it was
vial.
just one vial.
Just one vial.
Oh, yeah, Aldrich would snatch that then, unless someone
Mhm.
opposes.
I was going to do the same thing if you didn't say it.
I just said, I've done this before.
Well, that's not made a permanent effect. I think Aldrich's gonna drink it right there.
Oh!
I was going to do the same thing.
It's been a night. He's needing something.
Quite hungry and injured. And
Juliet's very hungry as well, but as tempted as she is, she kind of doesn't want to frenzy. Because if this place goes down, she doesn't want to be necessarily the first domino, she just wants to be the one that flicks the domino.
Once he downs it, he'll probably look at the sheriff, realizing in front of her is not the best time to experiment with Fey blood, but it's too late.
She just gives you a little shrug. Why, a little smirk on her face.
You're actually going to like
Oh,
this.
he doesn't.
First of
Yeah,
all, you
I've
may
done it
slake-
before. You've heard him. Yeah.
You've said that to me
Nice.
before off stream.
You may slake 3 hunger. And this is where it gets really interesting.
Better than Coke.
You learn Ashes to Ashes of Oblivion.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's 1 rouse check. Take stamina and Oblivion versus stamina and medicine or fortitude. You make a rouse check to expend vitae, and it introduces a vitae to the corpse. Unless the corpse is animated. Unless the corpse is animated. The body disintegrates over 3 turns with no test necessary.
Oh,
I'm
so
familiar
it's like
with that one.
Is it like Speak with Dead?
No, it essentially just wipes out a corpse.
Oh.
Very good for getting rid of
Handy.
bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like that. Thank you.
You're very welcome,
No.
you are.
Set the vial back. Is there anything else we need? Okay.
Well, thank
I
you for visiting
suppose-
my lovely establishment. Please don't come back in a hurry.
Shall see.
No.
apparently,
Well-
I won't be.
Hey, that's rude. This isn't a club for you. Don't be mean to him.
I asked
All in
nice.
all, it's for the better.
Go make your own club.
Gently set
I
the
am.
glass back down on the table, and give the man a nice curtsy before I follow the coterie out.
Oh, how charming. As you step out of the lavish room, you can't help but notice the entire building seems pale, as if the colours are slowly washing away. With every step you take closer to the exit, the entire building begins fading away until finally you just stop and realise the building has gone, leaving the coterie standing on the corner of the street as a howling wind kicks up around them. As you are standing there, several things all at once. The man that Aldrich recognises as the person he purchased the theatre from comes walking up somewhere. Greeted by a man dressed in black from his tall top hat to his expensive shoes, that the coterie and even Juliet recognise as the Malkavian Mr. Hythe. As he catches sight of the coterie, he taps his cane onto the pavement, catching their attention, tipping his hat in greeting, and addresses Juliet directly. Sheriff Parr! Cousin! As requested, I have assembled the list of Amaranth suspects for you. I thought it wise not to carry the list with me, but you will find it across the city in a prepared building that has been guaranteed safety from any prying eyes. By the London docks, in the East End, just off from Tower Hamlets, a particularly large building. It'll be obvious when you're in the vicinity.
Much appreciated, cousin. Your work for the tower is always noted.
It is a pleasure. Good evening. Tips his hat once more and walks off down the street, tapping his cane on the stone tarmacked road as he walks.
You need a list to figure that out?
Yeah. Information, the further it journeys, the more risks there are. As I said last time, we're not all the idiot savants that y'all think we tend to be. We are very much savants. So, off we go! Tower of London.
Yes, seeing as how Coterie has been tasked to work on this Amaranth cases, a list of possible suspects would assist us in narrowing down who to what. Certainly.
Heading to the carriage,
Yeah.
you head back towards Aldrich's carriage, each taking a seat in a rather lavish, respectable, spacious carriage.
To Thurston go, I guess a list would be easier. Imagine having to look at everybody's aura just to see if they've committed Amaranth.
You do know that there are other ways to... Never mind.
You have one more location to check for the psychophone, or you can go straight and look at the list of suspects, whichever you so choose.
I guess let's close up the phone search.
I agree.
Anything you wish to discuss en route?
I'd like to make a note, which there's not going to be a good time for this. As the theater is being built and we get doormen and such, that Shane Fairhand is not allowed to enter without my express permission.
Oakley dokley. The coterie arrive outside a modestly large mansion. Large iron lampposts with candles inside them provide barely enough light to show a path that leads up to the main front door of the building. The plain building has a few windows, all of which seem to have a glow of candlelight coming from the rooms behind them. Anything you wish to discuss before you approach the front door?
Hopefully that phone will be here.
Sheriff, Sheriff implies the Camarilla. Are you a sheriff for the tower? Or a sheriff for Mithras? Does Mithras have sheriffs?
That is separate. One can be of an organization such as Mythos, and at the same time be able to be Camarilla, Anarch, or support, but no, one does not mutually exclude the other.
Just not sure where the bulk of your jurisdiction lied. Things like this tend to get complicated. I don't want to step on any toes, so I will leave much of this to you as we're dealing with a potential.
We are
cultist.
getting to gray lines, I admit. Because sheriff I may be, but my jurisdiction is northern London as of present.
Question: were we in northern London when she killed that person? Just I don't know, 2 hours ago.
Which answer would you prefer?
I want either I'm going to call her on her bullshit, or I'm going to stay quiet because she was in her jurisdiction.
I say no. She was not in.
So what happens when they find out that you weren't in your jurisdiction when you killed that lady?
You did what?
Reports, reports, reports. You cover your ass. I am so well organized and in such communication with my other sheriffs and all the ones they answer to that were anything to go down, I am within my rights to take immediate action. I've already sent messages through in the network, and you being so young in the way in which I did it, you probably weren't even aware, but it's already cycling back to the tower off in central London.
Wait, so all the sheriffs are Malkavian? Oh God.
No, I didn't say to the Malcolm. No. My associates. There's others in the Camarilla with, status and titles, be it higher or lower than myself, that are of the moon. So I have, let's call it network couriers that are a part of this community of mine.
So if none of that matters, why did you bother telling us what your jurisdiction?
Because it holds even more potence when we are there. And still, one must know popular accolades assigned to the person they are assigned to, no? One must be
confused.
respectful.
What's more potent than dying?
There are things worse than true death, child.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean into Alistair so I can whisper this. Remember earlier when you mentioned, compensation? It's like that. Compensation.
He's overcompensating?
Yes.
I thought you meant somebody was paying her.
Right.
It's the one word. It's the over in front of the other word. I completely. I was legit confused, by the way. When you said, I was like, I didn't say anything about getting paid. Like, what are you talking about compensation? Oh. So Alistair was confused. Like, legit. I legit was confused. I wasn't making fun of you. Just so you know, there's.
Coterie make their way up to the path of loose stone to the imposing large glossy painted black door. In the centre of the door is a large silver door knocker in the shape of a bull's head, with the main knocker itself running through the effigy's nose. As the door is knocked, the clunk of metal against metal echoes through the night and into the distance. The door is immediately answered by a man in a long black coat with ribbon tie. Good evening. Are you here for the evening congregation?
Yes, of course.
Excellent. Please, enter.
No.
Going in?
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot something in the carriage.
Of course, madam.
And I'll go back to the carriage pulling Aldrich with me.
We all heard that, right?
Everyone apart from Juliet, obviously.
There. That's not the only voice I've heard tonight, and it's not normal.
Sheriff, are you going to enter?
Yep, she's entering.
We'll wait for her to go in. They have a moment to themselves outside.
Yeah, that's why I was kind of trying to pull everyone back to the carriage so we could talk in private.
Do hurry, Aldrich. My clothes are getting wet.
Didn't you hear that?
And my liege, why? Should we not enter because we are in danger, or because you do not want us to? Do this one at a time. Are we in danger by going in there?
Remember, yes and no questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Will you be personally offended if we go in there?
No.
Oh, well then.
Is she in danger?
Who's she?
Sheriff.
Juliet.
The sheriff.
Yeah, because Juliet's standing there, like, she hasn't gone fully in, but she's standing there, you know, like, foot up, like,
Oh, we
hitting
wouldn't
you.
be doing this unless she was fully
No,
in.
yeah.
Purposely said the
If she's
sheriff
still
goes
there,
in,
we're in the
and then
carriage.
we're
Okay,
talking
that's
outside.
Yeah,
We are not letting the sheriff hear this.
yeah. Just so you, because I'm not sure if you know, but meta information. What they're doing right now is infernalism.
Yeah.
It's a crime.
There's no way we would accidentally let her hear any of this.
Yeah, sorry, dog was slightly distracting, my head got a little turned around, apologies.
Fine.
Is
So
she
is she in danger?
No.
Oh, well then that's fine. We'll just sit here. Wait, why would she not be in danger, but we are? Is she gonna hurt us?
No.
No.
If she asked, Alistair, let's say you got a premonition that our coterie was in danger in there.
Can do that.
In
Do you want
Dimion,
to do that?
if we entered, would you punish us?
No.
Aldrich has a point. Maybe I can try to see a little bit of what happens in the future. Hold my hand, and I reach out to Thirst. For no reason. I'll squeeze his hand and close my eyes. I'll try to rouse.
Do
Honestly.
we all need to join hands?
No, I didn't even. I just did one hand to Thurston for no reason.
When he said hold my hand, Aldrich actually started to put his out and sort of put his back. Okay.
You grab Thurston's hand, and Thurston just murmurs to himself, "I want you not to do this in front of the coterie."
A
4.
success. And you cast your gaze upon the house, which is like a black void.
So, yeah, that's bad. That place is like nothing.
It's very rare that Endymion actually warns us before we're going into danger. That makes me think it is quite dangerous. But if the sheriff demands it, I'm not sure what we have to stand on to refuse her.
I can always just tell her that I don't feel safe in there. I had a premonition that I don't feel safe, and I don't want my coterie to go in.
I think we tried that.
Hopefully she understands. I might be young, but I know my stuff. I can see the future.
I will take it upon myself to guard the carriage.
Actively retreating. I usually see something else. It was just black.
Can I use Sense the Unseen on the house?
Yeah. That's a success. And the house is like a black void to you.
Can't use telepathy unless I see her, see the other person, right?
Correct.
Yes, when I look carefully at the house, spiritually, it seems much like Alistair said, avoid darkness. Something is wrong with the building.
Do you think this might be another demonic house?
I'm gonna kind of do like a hold action thing where as soon as I see Juliet Parr, whether it's in a window or if she comes out to the front door, I'm gonna cast telepathy and tell her we can't go in.
Okay.
You want me to do the rouse check now, or do you want me to wait in case And I don't know if she's
wait
willing.
in case.
So
Wait in case.
gotcha.
But aren't you curious?
Always.
Like, what's so dangerous?
Usually I get more. Like, example, when I saw the painting, I still got hurt, but it still kind of told us what to do. This was nothing. And that paired with Endymion, that's more ominous than what I saw.
I am quite curious, but I want to heed Alistair's warning, as well as Endymion's. Also, I find a lot of times your curiosity can be slated by other people. For example, we let the sheriff go and figure out what's so dangerous.
I'm assuming only I can hear that. I do, but I can't. Gary.
Now that
You-
you're talking to people in your head again, Alistair, you can let go.
What?
And I kind of pull my hand away.
Oh, sorry.
Kill that one.
I'm not killing Thurston.
My eyes dart to.
I'm sorry, who is telling you this? I'm not hearing the same voice.
Stop laughing. Ever since we went to that first place, this lady been talking, and now she's want me to kill Thurston. I don't want to kill Thurston.
I don't want
I
you to
don't
either.
want you to kill Thurston either.
Well, hopefully she can't take over me and make me do it. As long as I still have a choice, I'm not going to kill you. Although she's real annoying at this point. Her laugh is very sinister.
Yeah, what
To
the-
know.
Let's just wait for the sheriff and then make our decision from there.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Oh, by the way, ever since we went to the other place, this person, I tried to tell you before. You all just wrote it off that it was somebody in my head. No, this is new. This is weird. Sorry for blurting out that I want to kill you, Thurston.
No, it's actually more relieving when you say it out loud, and that way it reassures me.
Could have
Sheriff
argued that a
Parr.
lot better if I knew that, Shiver. I know who it is.
Sheriff Parr, you, of course, will be standing in the hallway. Nothing sinister or bad strikes you, apart from the fact that the coterie still aren't with you, despite your clear and concise orders. Fucking men.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all their fault.
Always. And unequivocally. But yeah, she'll, basically get to the end of the hallway and about the time where she's about to choose a room, to put her own keen investigative skills to work. She realizes they're not there. So she turns around and she goes and right in the threshold, just hands on the edges and leans through. I believe you can't find a thing if you don't go to where the thing you believe is to be found.
Alistair here is a master of his Malkavian craft, and he received a warning not to enter. I assumed you would have received the same one, being from the clan, but I guess you did not.
Her hands grip tighter on the door frame. Head tilts. Just because one gets a thing does not mean it applies to all the rest. And for the second time this night, I would like to manipulate compel. All of you enter and assist me in finishing with this mission before the day star comes.
And with all due respect,
Yeah, rolls to make.
no.
Yeah.
What did he say, by the way?
Do not resist.
He meant do not resist Endymion, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was meant to be just do not resist.
That's fine. So, yeah, with all due respect, no.
She's dominating us. What do
Yeah.
we roll
Oh.
against? It's a mesmerize, so it's
Yeah.
versus
Oh.
intelligence resolve for us defending.
How the f
You know
do
what?
you just store all that? How do you do that? It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
act-
reading it from a sheet.
We
I'm-
actually went over this that one day.
I have the power to.
When I was dominating him, he was like, I should be able to resist it. It's
Okay, so
two.
what are we rolling?
It's two traits, really.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the sheriff is doing here.
Ah, here we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Manipulation dominate versus our intelligence resolve. I'm gonna rouse this.
Oh, well.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Passed her manipulation rouse, and she failed the compulsion rouse.
Or you
So
only need to do
she's
the one
on-
rouse.
Well, yeah, but I upped her manipulation with the blood surge.
So, how much do
Oh,
we
it's-
add for a rouse? Is that 2 dice?
It depends
Two.
on your blood potency.
Or if you haven't raised it, it's 2 dice. Yes.
What if your blood potency is 2? Is it 3 die?
Yes.
Oh,
like-
wait, I think I rolled that wrong.
Blood potency 2 is 2 die.
Okay, so it's
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, Lord, I need to learn this. Roll twice stuff.
Blood surge, you do the rouse check, and it just acts as a modifier to whatever pool you're rolling.
So Juliet might be rolling it. I don't know what her blood potency is, but that might be a good chunk of dice.
It is, especially because she's roused her manipulation. That last thing, I hit the wrong button. Marking that she's
Oh,
not.
it doesn't matter. It just doesn't fucking matter. Like,
How
Jeez.
do you have that many?
Holy shit! Holy shit.
because Shiver gives these fucking people 15 million dice.
yeah, that isn't an inordinate amount of
That's
dice.
the official rulebook.
Yeah, say Juliet's a statted NPC. That's and
She gets
and
She gets
double
more dots and
critical.
stuff that's on our sheet.
Oh yeah, she did score double critical.
Yeah, she did.
That's why it's
She had-
extra crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
stat
her blood surge probably gives her like a handful of like 4 or 5 dice too. That's why. Boy, we're going in. Unless someone can beat a 16.
No one beat a 60. I rolled a 6.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's
too.
possible for any of us to beat a 16.
Don't
And I
worry,
rolled
guys. I
crits,
rolled
No.
one.
But
And
no,
if-
it just doesn't matter.
I mean, for instance, just to put the fear of Mithras into you, his blood potency, his blood surge would add 6 dice.
Yeah, no, we went over this with Mithras.
Yeah, but that's
we just didn't
Mithras.
realize that the
So-
fucking
so-
sheriff was the same.
What was the instruction specifically?
Enter this building to continue on with the mission I have assigned you with before the morning star comes.
We gotta go inside.
Wait, what? I mean, if I'm confused in obeying this compulsion, I would need to figure out what this is. So what was I compelled to do?
Go inside.
Go
and help her.
inside. It's that
And
easy.
continue with the mission you were assigned
Yeah, and help her with the mission.
before the morning star comes.
Yeah,
So the
Aldrich's walking in.
Is to assist with the mission I've been assigned.
We're aware we have to. We are aware we're. Yeah, as we're walking in, I would just be like, "Sorry."
Yeah, she also has rationalized, so you guys think you do this on your own volition.
No, we're not aware.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and as of course you are all walking in.
Perhaps I misjudged you.
what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Her logic was sound.
Blood coming out of Aldrich's ear.
We
Oh
have
yeah,
to
he's not
assist.
supposed to disobey him. Ooh.
We have to assist with the mission before the sunrise, before the morning star rises.
Yeah, Aldrich just blank face just marches in.
The coterie
I
are
go in.
escorted through a grand hall decorated with fine china vases, grandiose-sized paintings that depict angels being thrown from the heavens on one side of the hall. On the other side, a large, muscle-clad man bearing a halo wrestles with a bull. Each painting portrays a different part of their battle. Eventually, it is shown the halo-laden man besting the beast and holding the severed head high above his own in victory. The coterie are led through the menagerie of artifacts and into a large open room that rests through a set of double doors, and into a huge ballroom with a black and white tiled floor, Roman columns line the sides, and seem for more decoration than actual use. The room is filled with dozens and dozens of men and women. Juliet instantly recognizes something amiss. If this were a true gathering of the Mithraic mysteries, then each of the followers would be wearing a mask denoting their place within the cult. None of the people are wearing any such thing, dressed, as they are, for church or perhaps some high-class dinner. Fortunately for the coterie, the gathering of people are talking amongst themselves, providing enough cover for the coterie to discuss between themselves before proceeding any further. Anything you wish to discuss before I proceed?
Julia just sort of, after seeing this, like, wall she's peeking over, and just, like, turns so that her back's against the wall, and she just kind of slumps against it, and just rubbing her face, because she's so fucking hungry, and she wants to charge, but there's too many, and she's just like, I can't, fucking, idiots, idiots, just under her breath.
Men! Am I right, ladies? The crowd hushes over with silence, and slowly parts down the middle. The members of the crowd nearest the newly made gangway place their arms outstretched. 3 new figures dressed in black appear. The man in the middle holds a short but aggressive-looking sword. Each of the figures either side of him hold a large silver chalice each. The 3 figures work their way through the crowd, with the man in the middle taking the blade of the sword to each of the audience members' arms and slicing deeply through their flesh, as each of the 2 figures places their respective chalice beneath each wound and letting it drain within the vessel. Eventually, the 3 figures approach the end of the room, and the coterie observe a twisted sermon, which comes to an abrupt halt as the man leading the ceremony beckons over someone from the sidelines. As the coterie's attention is drawn to the side, they catch their first sight of some strange artifact held upon a pedestal and hidden beneath a glass dome. A woman clearly afflicted with phossy jaw approaches the 3 figures, and silence is asked in reverence of their benevolent benefactor. The room falls silent, but not a single eye loses focus on the sight before them. The man from the middle places 2 hands upon the woman's face, caressing it as a lover would, and slowly his hands hang by his side, and the woman's jaw is miraculously cured of her affliction. The congregation is roused by a show of applause. The man calls for silence once more, and modestly deflects all praise from himself, and calls to give thanks to their benefactor, before dismissing the congregation to mingle. As they start to disperse, more of the protected artifacts are revealed, including a telephone, that which is your quarry. The 3 figures from the ceremony each step back and place themselves in white thrones that overlook the congregation, and a small queue of people forms, each taking turns to speak with them. What would you like to do?
Wait for the sheriff.
Either we wait until they are done with this blasphemy, or we actually go and we do what's needed, the whole thing of act now, ask questions later. We already have everything we need to justify. I am not having a good night. So decide quick, be sure.
As I said, this is more your jurisdiction. We'll take our commands from you.
I agree.
We must support the mission for the Starlight.
Yes, we must support the mission until they first start.
In that case, I've seen enough blasphemy within these walls within the short time that I have been here. Let's deal with them. Now.
Ow.
We're doing what? Killing them?
She draws her rapier.
How many are there?
About 20 or 30.
Keep in mind, Malkavian Hunger 5, not really rational right now.
On the site of
Then
the
please.
rapier... Oh, sorry. Carry on.
Go ahead.
Upon the sight of the rapier, an older gentleman with a grand handlebar mustache approaches them. Ah! A fine weapon you have there. Bloody brilliant. I'm not doing Boris Johnson, no. No. Ugh. New faces. Excellent, excellent new faces. Wonderful to see our congregation expanding. I can't help but notice, of course, you've been eyeing up some of our collection along the sides. I brought in the bull's head personally. Biggest bull I'd ever bloody seen. It's in the London Zoo of all places. Slaughtered it with my own bare hands. Of course, I was younger then. Slightly. Have you met with the cardinals?
A few.
Have you met with these 3 specific cardinals?
Those aren't birds.
No, you idiot.
It's not that.
Not this particular trio, no.
Ah, well. Come with me. We can skip the queue and you can speak to them straight away. I'm sure they would be honored. Honored to speak with such fine collection of people.
Sounds positively divine. She's the weapon. Oh, hell, Mithras.
Excellent swordsmanship. Excellent. Keep up the practice, young lady.
The space between her upper lip and nose just twitch. Just snarl reverberates in her throat.
What's between us and the artifacts?
About 20, 30 congregation
Namely
members.
the box.
Is it like
Are we-
actively guarded,
where
or
are
is
the
it just
cart-
there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not actively guarded. It's just there. You've got
It's on display.
the main floor. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
are we passing by it at all?
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
are
say,
going
where's
to
the
be-
cardinals in relation to the...
Cardinals artifact. So basically, they're very close to each other.
What's the rough dimensions of this object again?
It's
Is
probably about-
it
Can
bigger
one person
or
pick it up?
smaller than my butt bustle?
your what?
It's one way of asking.
Victorian butt bustle.
Stick it under her skirts.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not just.
I was gonna ask, show me with your hands. The size.
Can one person hold it? Like, make this
Yes.
easy. You're all.
Yes.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Two-handed.
Yeah.
It requires.
And if you clench, it'll fit up your butt muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll sort of to the others quietly. If there is any sort of distraction, I can quite easily sneak the item out of here.
You want me to distract them?
It would be useful, yes.
How are you planning to sneak it out? Because I can also distract them.
Yes, your lot is better at the distractions. Let's just say have a few extra cavities that I can easily put the object into and close off.
Don't know.
Well,
We are a bad influence on you.
well, we must
let's
aid in the
part.
completion of the mission before the star rises.
Are you a robot?
I think it is wise for Aldrich to conceal the object. Perhaps Eveline can give a fulfilling performance and sing a song. Surely
gonna
that will
do?
Exactly
draw
what I was
attention.
thinking.
Oh, that is perfect. While the sheriff speaks to the archbishops, you will give a song for the rest, and I will do what I need to do.
Ooh,
Aldrich,
make
would
sure
you
it's in a minor key so they like it. Seems really dark in here.
Aldrich, would you like me to assist you?
How so?
Well, I can be quite sneaky.
Perhaps maybe the both of us together work to sneak this thing out. You can stay with me.
The coterie are led to the back of the room, beyond the queue, and straight to the three robed figures. The grand handlebarred mustache man bows to all of you and takes his leave. Your souls seem both empty and full at the same time. What are you? It seems as if your sincerity, your love for our Lord is false. What is it that really brings you here?
Funny you call myself the false one when you can't even do a standard ceremony properly.
You refer, of course, to our worship of Mithras.
The Prince of Avalon. The very same.
Mithras is merely
But
the
you don't even
surface
have any
layer.
song.
Mithras is merely the surface layer, a more swallowable pill, before those who are ready to proceed deeper are ready to hear the truth. It would be hard to just tell the innocent they are worshipping one of the most powerful demons that has ever existed. So again we ask, what is your true intention for here?
You have nice decor. I'm stalling because I don't. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I'm looking for an excuse to sing.
Aldrich's gonna linger by the items.
Actually, I'm going to say that out loud. I wanted to worship Mithras and share my gift of song.
As you wish. Impress us. Or bore us. Either way, make us feel something.
I will begin to sing a tragic opera.
Most operas in my experience. Charisma and performance.
I'd also like to rouse the blood for that.
Yeah, you should.
Okay, so let's see. So this is me doing the best thing I can do. Charisma performance. Oh, Lord.
You can always do a willpower reroll if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm going to do a willpower reroll. 3 in there.
Much better. That is just enough to catch the attention of a large group of people that are very near to Eveline. Most of them simply enjoy her performance, watching, enjoying the spectacle. The 3 people at the back merely sit back, don't keep their eyes away from her. Whilst this is going on, who's doing what?
There's no one looking at Aldrich. Use some heightened senses and check around for this. Best of his ability.
Hey, I think it would be drowned out by Eveline singing.
Oh, that's true.
Now, Astrid isn't very familiar with Mithras. I know Juliet is. Do kinds sometimes get, like, manipulated or, like, lumped into being worshippers of some extent?
To Mithras, specifically,
Mm-hmm.
yes. It's
Wonderful.
not exactly common, but yeah, it happens.
Well, from her position, again leaning against the wall, she'll, look for, the people that look like, they got the nice blush to their face and everything like that. But she's particularly looking at the people that are captivated by Eveline. And she'll slowly approach, like, one that looks human and captivated from the back, and then kind of look to the cardinal, tilt the head, look at their neck, not even wanting the cardinal's permission, but at least giving them the courtesy of letting them know she's about to have herself a satisfying meal, because Hunger 5 is no bueno.
Dexterity and stealth, please.
Okay. Oh, pull this up. Let's see. Stealth. Dex. Nothing's roused. Oof. Ouch.
Would you like success at cost?
So, let me be clear. This is the sheriff going to feed in the presence of other kind.
It's okay. It's okay. She has a plan. She has a plan. It's okay. It's okay.
Do the mass manipulation make everyone forget?
She just needs to take care of this hunger and But, like, very much like, like, someone that's, like, off.
Also, what a good distraction for us. The sheriff's getting attacked by a mob of people.
Terrible when I have to email Paradox and tell them to rewrite their meta plot from the Victorian age that's already been established, but bollocks to them.
Hey, this is the Shiververse.
Malkavian at Hunger 5, it's not pretty, it's not pretty. I'm sorry. No, I will pass on that succeed at cost.
Juliet attempts to accust one of the congregation, enthralled by Eveline's mesmerizing performance. Unfortunately, she is unable to grab any single one of the people, rooted in spot as they are, and her hunger remains.
So while the distraction's in full swing, Aldrich looks around and no one's looking at him. I'd like to use Silence of Death and Unseen Passage.
I also have both of those, and since I'm helping him.
Okay, please do a rouse check for Unseen Passage.
Let's sit on these. A little hungrier now.
You will the vitae around your body. in an attempt to obscure yourselves from being seen.
And once this happens, again, assuming no one's looking at the object, I should be able to manipulate it without breaking this. He'd like to essentially just open up his stomach to have a nice box-sized cavity in there to just put it in the stomach and then close it around it.
I too have seen Videodrome.
Just another rouse.
Excellent.
And a protein.
Wonderful, that's fine.
Just
That's
need
fine.
one change for that. And then once that happens, if possible, you would like to just start making his way the hell out of here.
Yep. And as Eveline's performance slowly winds down, turning her attention to the three people in the chair, they will speak to her and say, "It seems your friend has accosted one of our artifacts."
Whatever do you mean?
We saw him plain as day walk over to the phone, insert it inside of his body, and walk out casually to the left slightly.
Oh, the second tidbit of confirmation information. You know, I do appreciate people that tell me things that they gleaned that I did not. You do a service to this court, sir. Noted. And
So
appreciate.
Evelyn has stopped singing while this conversation happened, I assume?
Yeah, that was as
Yeah.
she...
So would Aldrich be able to hear this then with heightened senses?
Yeah.
Oh, he's not gone?
I mean, even if he's across the room because of his heightened senses, he'd still have the ability to...
I assume they said this like before I'm gone, right? Like
Yeah.
they pointed this out as I'm trying to get away.
I would be
Yeah.
somewhere behind you as well. So
You might do some rugby moves here and toss the ball to you. Hearing this, he'll pause.
Do you wish to offer an explanation as to why this artifact is so important to you and why you feel entitled to it?
I don't know what artifact you're talking about.
It is a phone used to communicate with the dead.
That's not possible.
Are you sure you wish to
No.
pursue this route of questioning?
Hearing that this is not going well, Aldrich is going to use mist form. And he's going to speed up the process with additional rouse checks. Which will be 3. So let's hope I don't fail them all. So it'll take a turn, but yeah, that process will begin.
Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. It seems it is extremely important to you. We have not seen such weak powers in quite some time. If you had merely asked, politely, and explained why you needed this object, perhaps we might have just granted it to you.
We were working on it. It's not like I'm a puppeteer. I may be Camarilla, but I'm not some flippant control by the whim by any means they seem necessary. I mean, sure. I'll lean it in talents to nearby. But
Material objects are meaningless. And he merely glances over to the right. The building starts to shake and tremble, and pieces of concrete and marble fall slowly from the ceiling. And you notice the floor opens up entirely on the right-hand side, swallowing each and every single object, one by one, into a deep, dark chasm. As we say.
Is all of this being said by just one of the three?
Yeah. Material objects are meaningless.
I'm terribly sorry we couldn't be more tactful. It's just you have to understand. We have to complete our mission before sunrise.
Is that your exact wording?
I'm sorry.
For the Morning Star.
Yes, before the morning star.
That is a name that is blasphemous and should not be uttered in this court. And the two standing either side of him stand up. And they each reach out to you. What's your current hunger level?
Mine?
Mm-hmm.
3.
Okay. It is now 4.
Okay.
As you see blood slowly pour out of every single orifice upon your body, coalesce into a ball in front of you, and dart through the air into their respective hands.
Once again, I start singing, directing it to the one that's been talking to us.
Okay.
You know how much deliberation I did on whether or not to do this?
This is the one that affects willpower?
This is the one that makes him frenzy.
Oh, okay. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah. Please. I mean, there isn't... Yeah.
There isn't what?
It's not much point in doing a roll. They're immune to mental-based disciplines, which is how we were able to see him.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess I've already said it at this point, so.
At least you didn't roll the beast.
Damn it, I finally got a reason to use it!
Yeah. Demonic thralls are naturally immune to all mental-based disciplines. And he just stands there. Perhaps you should just apologize and make your way out into the night and consider this a lesson learned and to pass it on to your companions to not come this way again.
Our deepest apologies, and I run away.
I bow. I'm sorry.
I'm just kind of picturing Thurston, who thinks he's obfuscated, sort of just like for the whole duration.
Yeah, that's what it looked like until Aldrich mistformed, which I imagine I could see, and I would have left with him.
On the
My
Snagglepuss
sincerest-
route, exit stage left.
My sincerest apologies for our terrible hospitality. Goodbye. I'll bow and depart.
You'll see every...
Juliet.
Sorry.
Oh, Juliet being the last one there, she'll just look him straight in the eyes and say, "It is not we who will return." Not even bowing, she'll turn and take her leave.
And you will see that every single person is watching you with every single step you take out.
I'm running out the door. I say, "I'm still the best singer in London!"
And are you heading towards the carriage? I'm going to assume that's a safe bet.
Post haste.
Yeah.
Once Aldrich got outside, he's gonna pull the thing out of his stomach again. So he doesn't have to explain anything. Well, we'll see.
Are you saying anything like, I am the way, as you're pulling it out?
Maybe. Like an audience. That should be enough for one change. Okay, I'll reform in the carriage, pull the thing out, patch himself up. Just sit there in the carriage looking at this box. Actually, it's just going to set the box in the seat across from him. And wait for the others.
Eveline will be the first one out, running as she is, with Thurston probably close in tow, and Inspector Grey and Alistair walking out as if it was a Saturday midnight.
As I walk to each one, I'm just basically just like, sorry. Sorry. Sorry.
And
But
through
they're
the
just
network,
staring
you can probably feel Juliet staring daggers into the back of your head.
I don't think he would.
You might feel it, whether or not you give a shit.
Yeah, he's escaping death at the moment.
I imagine they're all doing that weird, creepy, like, cult stare at them, or
Yeah.
at him while he's doing this.
Yeah.
They're even blinking in
Sorry.
union,
Sorry.
which creates a very strange but almost pleasing sound.
Yeah,
I happen to suck.
yeah, I'm thinking of the twins from The Shining, but like 20 of them.
And you each
Psychic
raise the-
Twins, if you want to sponsor a TTPRD.
Turns out that interesting. But I suppose we have accomplished what we have set out to do, no?
Almost. You still have to destroy it.
Or we must do it before the morning star.
Precisely.
Yes, we must complete the mission before the morning star.
As she says that, I kick it as hard as I can.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point making you roll. I've been pretty unfair to you in that whole demon thing, so absolutely going to be a success. And you vent out your frustrations, smashing the phone into pieces, stamping on the shards, and ensuring that every single piece is broken beyond recognition or repair.
Nice.
Our bloody unlives in danger for a fake phone.
Not so fake. Do not forget that the reason my court wanted this destroyed is because it actually worked.
Well, it doesn't matter now.
Precisely.
It has been quite a journey. I can't wait for you to report the success to your court, and I wait to hear what our reward shall be.
I would tell you to wait with bated breath, but what breath?
And you've got the one last place to visit for your clues.
Shall we retrieve your list then? While we have the carriage?
We still have moonlight, do we not?
We do. I will tell the driver to head towards that location.
Is there anything you wish to discuss or agonizingly groan about on the way?
Have we eaten tonight? I don't know about you, but I'm quite hungry.
Yes, we began this evening with a meal.
I have worked up quite the appetite, though.
There was a straggler I tried to sequester, and it failed. I absolutely, if we are to continue, I must silence my beast.
Are we not simply picking up a list? I believe you'll require
Yes.
blood for that. Let's get that out of the way. Then we can all go our separate ways and eat.
Very well, I can manage.
Not to push yourself too much.
That is what. That is one of the important things we need to learn: how to reserve ourselves and balance our hunger. If we always spent all night exhausting ourselves, we would never live that long.
It's good advice, Inspector, from one of the most balanced individuals I know.
The coterie slowly cruised through the far east end of the city. After a moderate amount of time driving around, almost aimlessly, they finally catch sight of what appears to be Mr. Hythe, standing casually against a gas streetlight, spinning his cane with one hand. The coterie pull in front of him, and each disembark from the vehicle. Ah! You made it! Most excellent. I have made use of my unique talents, bollocks, to ensure that all they see here is an abandoned old former domicile, as you too can see. But I assure you, if you head on in, you'll find reported findings and lists of suspects. Good night, all. He tips his hat and casually walks off in the direction of the main city.
Feels like a trap.
I suppose I'll proceed in with the coterie unless this looks like someplace where we should be sneaky.
The coterie proceed into what appears to be a completely abandoned building, and as soon as they walk over the threshold of the doorway, the apparent illusion is lifted, and they find the wooden room fairly clean and decked out like an office. A lavish desk with a small green felt centre and small oil lamp on a raised wooden platform that runs the length of the desk reveals a small folder sat upon it.
I would.
No one else. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I would proceed forward and take the folder, and then I'd head back to the coterie towards Aldrich, and I'd start opening the folder. This should aid us. Here, Aldrich, would you care to take a look with me?
Yes, let us look together. We'll glance at this list. Hopefully not seeing Gray's name on it.
Yes.
You should be able to see it.
We see the list, or I could ask.
Who would like to do the reading? We know it can't be Thurston because he can't read.
Understood.
Did we all see the list?
I got it. I got it up.
Okay.
The list says, Sheriff Parr, this list is short. Whoever is committing these heinous acts in the glorious city of Mithras is powerful enough to cover their tracks and experienced enough to be able to perform these acts without hesitation or risk. First name is Stephen Lenoir, Alessandra Primogen. Only allowed here at Mithras' own behest for repayment of a boon. Highly likely to be a former member of the Sabbat, a crazed faction that regards Amaranth as a kindred right. Next name is Reginald Moore, the Bruja Primogen. Barely keeps peace between the more militant members of the rabble and the Camarilla. Although he seems to not covet power, it's the quiet ones you need to be suspicious of. He certainly seems to be hiding some secret. Then we have Sri Sansa, Tremere kindred. Has a taste for running cults. As a foreigner to these lands, he's much to prove, and as such, a craving for power would fit to earn some semblance of safety. Besides, he's Tremere, no kindred should trust, but that is doubly true for the tricksters. Horace Holden, Toreador, a flamboyant man born with a silver spoon up his ass, apparently still employs a kind to brush his hair every night. Supposedly, the Toreador Primogen is not fond of him or his practices and would prefer him removed. If this rumor has reached Horace's ears, he may feel he is entitled to something better and would begin working his way up the food chain without care for the consequences. Then our pal Valerius, Ventru, shamed former seneschal of the city, was cast out by Mithras for allowing the Tremere in to deal with the Sabbat insurgents. Since being spared his own life, he has been cast out in shame, a grave insult to not even be considered worth executing. Has the power and experience to commit the crimes and muddy Mithras's reputation. The last name is Lady Anne Bowsley. Ventru, current seneschal of the city, although unlikely and shocking in and of itself for her name to be included on this list, we wanted to present you a complete list of all suspects. Bowsley's sire is Valerius, and although she has publicly distanced and denounced any ties to her sire, she may still bear a grudge, though it would be almost pointless and carry far more risk than it is worth for her to commit these heinous acts.
Juliet's still and silent for a moment, and eventually she just runs her hand through her hair, still gripping the back of it. If you do not mind, I would like to take this writing. There are many of my court who need to see this.
But of course, hand you the list.
Appreciated. Takes it back, looks over it for a few beats, shakes her head and tucks it inside of her jacket.
Does this conclude our business then? Until, of course, we are needed again.
That would be so. Though, Miss Eveline, I would love to spend more time at your company. There's this thing I hear every now and then. It's a little bizarre in the mind and on the tongue. But something around the ilk of us women have to stick together. Madam, those of the cult of Mithras would be honored to have you among our ranks.
Cult Mithras. Where we just came from.
Those were falsehoods. Blasphemy. As I said, when we originally convened this night, much like with things of the Masquerade, we allow falsehoods to exist. I can show you the truth of things.
This sounds very dangerous. I'll need to think on it.
But of course. And I am available for conversation during this pondering.
Without naming any names, because I'm sure you can't. Is there anyone famous at any of these meetings?
Not presently within London. We are small. But there is a precedence in place, given that this is his city.
I see. It is definitely something to consider.
Yes.
Actually, so yeah, I think I would be interested.
Excellent.
Wonderful. I will be in touch with you soon on how to proceed. You may go back to Oxford, but someone will be in touch on my behest. On Midris's behest.
Why would I go to Oxford?
Is that not where you are from?
Goodness gracious, no. I'm a proud Londoner.
Even more perfect.
Sorry. Is there any last minute things anyone wants to do? Well, in the words of Endymion,
Excellent.
we'll call an end to London by Gaslight for this week. Starting with our wonderful guest, who played Juliet Parr, Malkavian Sheriff. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I do things. I got a lot of stuff on the back burner right now. Kind of a lot of hurry up and wait, just excessive planning. I read tarot. I sell crystals. Follow me on Twitter, diviner_Astrid. If you order anything physical for me, I will write a letter to you as Sheriff Parr, Patricia Wright, Margaret Strickland, or any of my other vampire characters that you might have met. Just let me know and check out that you would like that, and that is a sort of free thing that I do with, those physical orders, this sort of appreciation to my supporters that are also a fan of the vampire and the nut.
Good. Thurston, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Certainly not the hurdles. Let's find out.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at NitroTypeAt. I mainly retweet cool art I like on the internet, so...
Fair enough. Alistair, who is Inspector Grey? What does he do? Does he do things? Tell us. Let's find out.
Have you populated your OnlyFans anymore?
I've never activated it. It just exists.
Verification.
Fine, I'll verify it.
Yay! That's what he does! I can't advertise
This is
it,
called
though.
peer
I have to put it
pressure.
against DOS. That was easy. We
He
always
has to
said,
do it.
we're going to twist your arm, and he said, okay, I'll do it. Like, we didn't actually
You
twist it.
have to activate your OnlyFans before the morning star.
When the morning star arrives, yes.
Inspector Grey, who is Alistair? What does he do? Does he do things? Tell us. Let's find out.
Alistar is the awesome Tina who plays VTM with us every Thursday on Table of Horror. And
Celine!
if he does other things, he can tell you. Because I don't.
Celine, who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out. Tell us about your butt muscle.
What? Bustle. Because I knew if I said bustle, you wouldn't know what I was talking about. I am Ms. Hearts. You can find me just about anywhere as Ms. Hearts. I am in between most projects at the moment because it's Texas and it's hot outside. And we're on stage 5, so we can't do anything anymore. So, but if you need any graphic design or promotional products, go to givopromo.com.
Last but never least, Aldrich, who's got back on the Storyteller bicycle and has still remembered and not lost his touch, I have to say. Who are you? What do you do? Do you do things? Let's find out.
I'm Bully. We run things at Table Goth. You can check out our YouTube for stuff like that, as well as we're actually using our Twitch for the first time in years, over a year. I don't know how people live stream. Shiver's better at it than me, but I'm slowly figuring it out. You could catch us on Tuesdays playing some Hades High School.
Is very good, and it was really nice to see you get back into the ST chair in a live manner, because of course we have been watching you do Cults of the Blood Gods over on YouTube, which is which is not going the way you thought it was. I think everyone knows it.
Yeah, that's
Which
one
is
way
great.
to put it.
It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you all for coming and watching. We will see you. We had to cancel Oxford by Night this week, sadly, because not naming any names, but it's all Kendu's fault. But
He doesn't have internet yet, does he?
No. And he got on Discord to tell us that.
Mobile.
Yeah. Ruin the joke.
People have phones, Shiv.
Well, maybe they should be playing Diablo.
Blizzard taught us that.
Yeah, don't you guys have phones?
Don't you guys have phones? So we can sexually harass you?
Thanks, Blizzard.
Fucking hell.
That's Blizzard.
I think we've got enough time before next game. But Star Trek Adventures is Pendragon Crew
next Sunday.
Next Sunday.
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, right?
Next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, anyway, because at the moment it's Nakara, Nitro. So we'll see who I can drag in for that.
It's enough to do it, right?
And maybe me.
He knows so much about Star Trek.
I'm leaning towards maybe.
It makes up for my lack of knowledge. So
I was genuinely writing a section of the game about why this transport vessel had basically powered down and was still receiving power. And then I was halfway through and I was like, I know far too fucking much about warp cores that doesn't matter and is completely irrelevant to the game, and I am deleting about half of this entire chunk. And I was like, I'm proud and ashamed. So we'll go raiding on TTRP Theatre, who are playing Vampire the Masquerade.
Ooh, I've heard of that game.
It's a Vampire sex game, isn't it?
That's what I heard.
Drugs game. Thank you all for coming, and we
Our
can't go
games.
until Aldrich says the line.
How do the French say it? Bon nuit?